Test. Oh, we got Mike. We're back. All right, this is something that happens every time the Stream PC is rebooted. And it rebooted not once, not twice, but 3 times today because we lost power. 3 times today. So, it took me a few minutes to get the cameras resorted. I don't know why Streamlabs does this, but every time the Stream PC gets rebooted, I have to like reassign all the hardware to its sources, or it's just straight up confused. So here we are, finally live at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday night. It's Sunday night, build night. Did not steal that one from the NFL. Nope, not at all. Let's get you a top-down view. Anyway, this is not going to be our typical build. Kilobyte, over there on the Twitch, welcome back to the build show, sir. This is not going to be our typical build. As you can see, there's a lot of question marks on the table. This is a local follower who brought in a ton of different hardware to build with. He asked that we build the best possible PC to play a couple of different games. Sorry, my phone, I don't have my notes in front of me. Specifically, I know one of those games is Call of Duty, though. And you're looking at what we have here to work with. So we're going to go through some of this. And we're going to see what we can do. Because he's got a tight budget, and I want to make sure we try to get him the best possible PC that makes the most sense. with what we have. But he's traded some stuff, I think magic cards he was talking about, for some of these components. And sadly, I don't think we're going to use half of these components in the build. And I think some of it was left over from another build that he had previously. But this is what we have to work with. And we're going to do our best. And this was part of the Fix It or Bleep It series. So this is our attempt to make the best possible computer with the hardware that we have. We will most likely be adding some stuff, I think, to the build. Because there's a couple of limitations with the hardware that he has here that I'm going to call out immediately. If you guys are not familiar with the aged Intel hardware, we're going to take a look at the motherboard CPU combos that we have available for us right now. The work that we have to work with. Both of these combos are very old. One of them is an i7 3rd generation, and another one is an i7 4th generation. Both of them are DDR3 setups. We do have a little bit of a lag on the camera. Interesting. Is everybody reporting in okay? Is everything streaming all right? Because there's a little bit of a lag, I noticed. We don't typically see that. Anyway, first thing I'm going to call out is he wants to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty is going to require secure boot, and neither of these processors or motherboards are going to support secure boot. So basically, our platforms that we have available for these builds, they are going to be removed from the table. They're not going to work. These are the coolers that came with them. We're going to remove this. This one actually had the back plate still, which I was pretty impressed to see. The back plate is still there. So with that being gone, what do we replace it with? Well, I did secure an Intel i3 I think it was the 8100, I think, from Intel, and a motherboard combo, and it's a DDR4 board. I did secure that, and I secured that for $40 for him. It was actually a really good price. But I also have an i5 10400, I think it is, on a Z490 with 16 gigabytes of DDR4. That would be the ideal setup. Now, he did say he'd give me $100 for that CPU motherboard combo, so I'm going to go with that. The next problem we have, now that we have our platform, here's our Z490 board. This one's dusty. We're gonna have to clean it up. It was on one of my mining rigs at some point. So I am the original owner since it was brand new. It just needs to be cleaned up. So we'll do that. We'll clean it up. But it's an i5 10400. It's got 16 gigs of DDR4 memory, and it's a Z490 motherboard. And he does have a Wi-Fi card here, which is a Wi-Fi 6 card, which we'll plug into or install that so that he has Wi-Fi. Now, this is an ATX motherboard. The cases that we do have options for is this case that I have no idea what brand is. I've actually not seen this style case in a long time, but it looks like one of those Cooler Master master boxes. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the cubed design where it supports only a micro ATX motherboard. As you can see on the back, it's really only for a micro ATX motherboard unless we left the side panel off, which would look really awkward. So we don't really want to use this. This has also got a 450 watt non-rated PVIA power supply, so this is really weak, non-rated, very inefficient power supply that we would be using. So we're going to remove this from the table since we're not going to use this. The other option that he has that he provided was an ATX mid tower. I'll show you this. So he did provide, and I do have the side panels for this. I do have the side panels, but this, I think it is a MSI, the Codex series. I don't remember seeing this tower back in the day, but it is definitely an older tower that has seen better days. Let me get you guys a better view of this tower. So this is what he brought. It's an older tower. They're both aluminum panels on for both the side panels, so there's no window or anything. It does have space and ventilation on the side here. That's all gunked up for front ventilation. Has position for 2 fans on the top, 1 fan in the rear, so we could fit a total of 5 120 millimeter fans in here, and it would probably get the job done. But this case is very limiting, and it's set up for DVD, Blu-ray, CD drives, as well as the older traditional hard drive cages, and then they have 2.5 inch here, 3.5, 2.5, and 5 1/4 cages for all the peripherals. But we're not going to be using that. And then also these annoying things. I don't know if you guys ever seen any of these or remember these. These are really annoying. I always removed them. I never used them. But I would like to say that this case is pretty much off the table as well. It is a old case. I do not want to build in this. It has USB 3, I think, on the top here, but I think what this is actually is a Thunderbolt with USB 3, and it does require 2 USB 3.0 headers, so we wouldn't even be able to fit on this motherboard. We wouldn't have, or do we? We actually do have 2 USB 3.0 headers here. I didn't know that we had 2 of them on this board. Anyway, I guess it could work, but I'm not a fan of this, of this case. So I know it's simple and it would work, but maybe we do some case shopping. Do you guys think we should do some case shopping? What do you guys think? I don't even know if anybody's here in the chat. Do I have like the wrong chat window open? Oh, Chefy Tech, welcome to the Build Show. You're present. What do you think? I don't know if you know the full story, but local follower brought in a bunch of parts. They're older, and he wants to be able to play Call of Duty. So we've eliminated 2 4th gen and 3rd gen platforms, Intel, in favor of a 10400 i5 10400, a Z490, and 16 gig CDR4. Now his case options that he brought me are not very good options. This is really the only case that he brought that it would fit in, but I don't like it. I think it's nostalgic. I like it, you know, in that sense, but definitely not a good case anymore today. So, you think we should go case shopping? Let's go case shopping. Not that you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna go into my area. Silverstone SST FLP02W, retro-inspired tower chassis. What one was I looking at, or what one was I holding over there? The orange one, the first one. Do you know what that one is? This thing? You know what this thing is? Comes with an orange fan on the front with no label on it whatsoever. Also has orange plexiglass panels for the sides. Hey, what's up, Gary? I saw one of those cases in the Smith Thermaltake, possibly. I thought it was, but I don't think this is Thermaltake. This has got a strange color to it. It's like, I want to say Cougar. I want to say this is built by Cougar, but there's no branding on it whatsoever. I can't find any branding. It's Cougar or DIY PC is my opinion. That's what it feels like. But yeah, it's a really cool case. I actually really like the case. And maybe we'll do something in this later, but I'm gonna give him a different case. About to give him this guy, the Montech XR. About a $70 case right now. Had this one sitting around actually for a little while because I bought it for a build and it showed up late, and I ended up going to Micro Center and buying one. So it's been sitting around doing nothing in a box, and I'd rather it do something. So we're gonna use the Montech XR first case. All right, so now that we have a i5, a Z490, 16 gigs of RAM, and a Montech XR mid-tower sorted out for the build, we have two GPUs to choose from. All right, these are the two graphics cards that he provided. I'll go ahead and zoom in for you. Hey, what's up, Tony? Welcome back to the Build Show. So these are the graphics cards that he provided. This is a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6GB, and then this is a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. Looks like it looks like the 1050 Ti 4 gig. So 6 gig, 4 gig, obviously between the two, the GTX 1060 is going to be the better option. So we're going to go with that one. That means the only thing that we need. Hey, what's up? First time cheddar. Oh, Gary says 1066 gig. Yes, the 1066 gig is definitely going to be the option here. First time cheddar lie. Ruby. Oh, do we just call you Ruby then? Like, what is it? Dre. I don't even know. I mean, Twitch says it's a first time chat. Twitch doesn't lie to me. Twitch is all knowing. Someone who keeps in touch in Discord. Okay, gotcha. Well, first time on Twitch. The stupid 9900X, gotcha. Did you change your name, or maybe you're using a different account or something? Twitch is 20 seconds in the future. Twitch is all knowing. No. Well, welcome back to the Build Show then. I won't say welcome to the Build Show. I'll tell you to say, or I'll tell you welcome back to the Build Show, because you're coming back to the Build Show because you're bored and you want to watch PC builds. And this one's actually a really crazy, creative build that we're doing tonight. So, all right, so now we've got our i5 10400, our 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 memory on a Z490, a Montech XR, and a GTX 1060 picked out. The only thing left that he had was that a PVIA 450 watt power supply that's in that other case. We said no to that. Anything a PVIA on it, I just throw it in the trash can at this point. Storage is going to be the next big deal, as well as our power supply. Now, what's in this box is not a 750 watt power supply. It is in fact an EVGA 500 watt 80 plus white certified power supply, and very dusty as well. Dust is coming off of that, and this looks like some Corsair cables left over, which will now never be used unless anybody has that particular power supply and is looking for cables. So we'll be using that 500 watt power supply. This box goes in the trash. And last, we have storage. All that he gave me was a Seagate Barracuda 250 gigabytes, 3.5 inch, 7200 RPM SATA 3 hard drive for the storage. 250 gigabytes for Call of Duty is not going to work. Is this an ultra budget build? Pretty much. Yeah, we're pretty much on an ultra budget build tonight. So this is a local follower that came over and asked me to put together the best possible PC for him with the parts that he had, and we found that his platforms are too old to run Call of Duty, which is what he wanted to do to it. So he is buying this CPU, motherboard, RAM combination for me. But we're also throwing in a new case because the cases he brought were just not good. And the only good case that was there is a micro ATX case. So I'm going to give him a Montech XR, which is about a $70 case. I'm giving him that. And then also, he only brought a hard drive, and it's a 250 gigabyte hard drive. If he wants to run Call of Duty, we all know Call of Duty needs at least 250 gigs of storage. So 250 gigabytes on a hard drive, number one, with Windows is not going to work well. So we need an SSD and then probably a terabyte hard drive to at least make this work for him. So let's go shopping again. Say let's go shopping. I'm just walking back here into my, I want to call it warehouse, but it's really just shelves of parts. All right, so we're going to start off with a 256 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD that is used, but it was in one of my rigs, so I know it's still good. But it's a 256 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD that we'll start with, and then let's go find a hard drive. I'm like 99.9% sure this will work, or I would have thrown it out or smashed it. But it's a Barracuda 7200 RPM 1 terabyte Seagate hard drive, and we'll also make sure he has his 250 gigs in there as well. So I have a grand total of 1.5 terabytes in mixed drives, one 1 terabyte hard drive, one 250 gig hard drive, and then a 256 gigabyte SATA SSD for his boot drive. So at least he'll be able to run Windows and install Call of Duty and run that. It'll run slow, not as good, but it'll run. Oh yes, thank you, Gary. Try to help out as much as I can. Jeffrey, is that a hard drive? Yes, it is a hard drive, but it is a budget, and we're donating it, so it's free. It's a free hard drive, which is better than having no hard drive. It says, oh, okay, I thought all we had to work with was 256 gig hard drive, no SSD. No, we're donating this to him, which I don't know what a terabyte hard drive costs today, but probably like a $30 drive and $20 or $30 drive, and then I would say the 256 gigabyte SSD, brand new, is probably around $30 or $40, I would assume, in today's pricing. Happy Sunday, Kilobyte. Happy Sunday. We gotta. Where's the band hammer? Aha. So, just a quick recap, guys. What we are working with now is an i5 10400, 16 gigabytes of DDR4. We have a Z490 MSI, I think it's a Pro Series board. GTX 1060, 6 gigabyte, a 256 gigabyte SATA SSD, a 250 gigabyte hard drive, 7200 RPM SATA, and a 1 terabyte SATA, 7200 RPM, both being Barracuda hard drives. 500 watt, 80 plus white power supply, and then the Montech XR for the top for the case. So, and we're gonna stick with the stock cooler because this is budget. This is as budget as it gets. I don't know how much he's invested in the other hardware. So really, truly, all we're using from what he brought is the GTX 1060, the 500 watt power supply, and then the 250 gigabyte hard drive, which isn't a whole lot. I need another SATA cable as well. I thought I had one. The cable's 4 days, so we'll probably take that old one that he had here. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Anyway, so we've got everything we need. Now we just need to clean up the motherboard. Power supply needs a good clean, and then we'll assemble it. How about that? You guys ready to clean this board and assemble? Assemble the build, finally. All right, so I'm going to take us outside, and we're going to blow this and blow that outside. So I won't be able to communicate during this time. I do have my handy-dandy brush for brushing. Probably this one better. But we'll take it outside, and we'll be blowing the power supply and the motherboard. So let's do this. Well, that wasn't too bad. Welcome back. I know it's technically the front yard, but I think backyard sounds yeah, we'll have to come up with a name for it. Make a whole scene. Yeah, it should definitely run Call of Duty. I agree. 1060 can get 60 FPS on Call of Duty. Yeah, it'll run it. It'll run it. And you could definitely upgrade it later. So it'll get the job done on a low budget. I don't know in total what he has into this build. That's a lot of storage devices. It's actually not as much as you think it is. It's a total of 1.5 terabytes with a 256 gigabytes SSD, a 250 gigabyte hard drive, and a 1 terabyte hard drive, totaling out to 1.5 terabytes in total. So not as much as you think it is. All right, so this cleaned up nicely. I know it probably could be a little bit better. Actually, now that I have better lighting, I can see it a little better. There's still a little bit of cake dust here. And we should probably pop this and redo the thermal paste. It's actually not that bad, but it does look dirty under there. Yeah. I think I'm gonna take it right outside real quick for another quick blow. Now that I see that. Glad I did that. Much better. Hey, what's up, Carter? Hey, Ben, you built my PC last year, build number 68. That must have been really early in the year then, if it was build number 68. Couldn't be happier with it. Nice! Well, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Let's see here. Okay, fair dab. 256 SATA SSD. That's the good old days, I know. We're on a tight budget here. We're actually donating the 1 terabyte hard drive and the 256 gigabyte SATA SSD. So those are both donations to this, as well as the Montech XR case. We're donating to him so that he can complete his build and be more than ecstatic about it, and then upgrade it as well. We're also selling this CPU motherboard RAM combo for well under its value. It's an i5 10400 Z490 and a 16 gigabyte DDR4 kit. I'm selling that to him for $100, which is a steal in today's market. So yes, it'll help out with Windows a lot. That's the idea. I don't want it to take 5 business days for him to boot up his computer, let alone try to launch Call of Duty off the same hard drive. That would be a nightmare. Like, you would sit there and just be better off crying in a corner, rocking back and forth. Oh, yeah. I got a Oh, did you scroll through it? You could have at least joined the channel and watched and yeah, you could have joined from the phone. Mrs. in power over here. And Little Miss. Okay. Oh, thank you for the follow. Digiload? Digiload. That's an interesting name. Took me a second to figure it out. Okay. So now that we have finally got all of our components ready to build, let's do the build. To start, we have to re-thermal paste the CPU. One thing I'm going to do, even though this is my kit, and I know I never removed that CPU since I put it in, I'm going to double check the pins, because I'm that kind of guy. I trust myself. Everything is in perfect order. But if I'm selling it, I'm going to check it. And I have more of these. If I had to, I could swap it out. Now we need thermal paste. Just put everything away over here. Not for me. Actually, I think this is already a used tube. Already used this tube. Scratch. And then we'll just hold on. Let me go get a different cooler. I have a different one that I'm gonna put in. Pretty sure I have the better ones with the copper on the bottom. Uno momento. This time the show cannot follow me. Sorry. And bam, black with copper. A lot better cooler. Voila! Much better looking also than the other one. A lot better. All right, so we've got our thermal paste and our cooler on there. Let's get the case out and throw that in there. The only thing I don't have is the back panel for the motherboard. I looked for those. I have them in a bag somewhere hidden away. Hidden so well that I can't find them. Can't find them. Whoa. This is the Montech XR. Probably a little bigger than what he wanted, but bigger is always better. That's at least in my book. The squeaky toy squeak is definitely brought to you by Mr. Bax. I always forget, Montech uses a machine with torque as though they were torquing lugs on a car. You gotta use a driver to get those off. Beautiful thing is this is gonna get him that USB-C that he was talking about while he was here. He was super excited because that other case had Thunderbolt, not USB-C. This has actual USB-C, and the motherboard has a USB-C header. So he'll have actual USB-C. The little things in life that you get excited about. All right, well, it's time to flap the board in there. The other benefit of us building in a new case and not that other case is that we have all the hardware. We didn't have any hardware at that. We'd have to steal. I mean, if it was just me and I never had hardware, you know, I don't have all this extra hardware, I'd be sitting there like trying to steal screws from everything just to put the motherboard in. And you can only do like 2 screws and, you know, your GPU would be sloppy. It would just be a mess. That's what she said. I don't know, I could check with, nope, we're not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Forget I even tried to go there. Alright. So now there's just 9 screws to root them all. There's a joke in there somewhere as well. Do you think RAM situation will get any better? Do you want my honest truth, the ugly truth, or do you want the Ben that dreams, because a boy can dream truth? Which truth do you want? Tell me what you want. The ugly truth? The ugly truth to the answer is no. I don't believe this will get any better anytime soon. Meaning 5 years from now, no, this is going to be it. Unless the government does something to force them to bring the price down. I don't think there's anything that's going to ever happen to it. Why would they? Why would they fix this? They like money. You like money. I like money. They like money. Or if the AI bubble pops. But do you honestly see the AI bubble popping? Look at the massive size it has become. It is everywhere you go, there is now AI. Or some form of it. Any electronic that you use that connects to the internet has some form of AI being used now. That is insane. So the only way, like you said, is if the AI bubble pops. I know you can't see my other quotations. Why is that? Right here. This needs to go. Better. That's better. I don't know why that camera. I don't know. Something happened. Something happened with. I mean, we lost power 3 times today. You know, who knows? AI probably had something to do with it, or Iran is hacking our system and knocking stuff out. Who knows? Bro. But yeah, AI bubble has to pop, or the government has to step in, and that'll make changes, or at least make it so that the possibility of a reduction in price may happen. Now, is that actually going to happen? Probably not. So, and then the only other thing we'd be waiting on is if the memory manufacturers, Hynix, SK Hynix, Micron, and Samsung, all 3 increase their production, which means that it's a large investment and it will take several years to build facilities that'll be able to do it. So we're talking years before we even think about this naturally fixing itself. But then again, if you look at their money they're making, they're selling less and making more money. Why on earth? And people are still buying it. Why on earth would they change that? I mean, that's the ugly truth. Oh yes, I agree. I think it is definitely going to get worse. This is not the peak, the highest point, or the highest cost that 32 gigs of memory is going to cost. I think it's going to get worse. That, honestly, is looking pretty damn good. I hope you're talking about the PC, not the memory prices. I know you're talking about the PC, Tony. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing around. All right, so we've got our motherboard installed. Now we have to figure out. I'm going to deal with this storage situation. We have an SSD, and we have 2 drives, 2.5-inch drives here that we have to deal with. Thank goodness this case actually supports 2.5 drives. I'll put those both up here. That is our front panel connector. That's our HD audio. Over it. I'm actually just going to take care of this front panel stuff to get it out of my way. USB 3.0, USB-C. Hold on, I did it backwards. Hold on, I did it backwards. Hold on, I did it backwards. Okay, so you have to go backwards, 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 and then you'll get the right one. All right, so now we need 3 SATA connectors. Does that even work? Once more under the bridge. And then we're going to deal with these fans. Got to get the fans plugged in. All the fans got to get plugged in. I think 1K is the new 500. Yeah, and 100 is the new 20. And 20 is the new $1. Like, it's not the dollar store anymore. It's the $20 store. What happened last night? Everything good? Last evening? You talking about yesterday's build? 'Cause that turned out pretty good. You check out the VOD. We ended up swapping out that motherboard on that build yesterday. I think that was gas out. That's what that. Holy smokes, Montech. Montech twists their twist ties 18 times. Yeah, and the guy actually picked it up this morning, yesterday's build, so that's already done and gone. It's done and it's gone. Yeah, and wages remain the same, I know. That is what is so crappy about it. Most of it. We're gonna try to feather this down. We can't, we unplugged it. We unplugged the chain! That needs to get, I think, here. Right. Yellow. Where did you go? Sir. Excuse me, sir. There we are. Now we can deal with the storage. You know, one thing I didn't really think of, but I do hope this power supply has enough SATA power connectors on it. Didn't really think of that, but that could potentially be a problem. And yeah, I've definitely screwed myself. I need a tie. Not a red one. I just need a tie. All right. Everything's plugged in and happy now, right? Let's get this SSD installed. Holy smokes. Now let's get this hard drive installed. What did you get? Yeah, what'd you build, Gary? What'd you got? What do you got? Here I go again. More espresso. I'm such an addict. Is that what you hear, Tony? Yeah. Good call too if you built it right before this insanity. Doink. Can't believe I'm searching hardware for hard drive screws. Hard drive screws. Modtech is so nice to label everything too, by the way, with their packaging. They're like, yeah, here's your hard drive screws. They only give you exactly the amount that you need, which is convenient. Although I'm probably just gonna do get it. Do the trio method on these. Wait a second. How do I mount that if I already have this on? Hold on, we're having a big brain moment. Big brain moment. We can't put the hard drive in here if we're trying to mount the hard drive up there. Yeah? Because we won't be able to get to the screws. Who needs instructions when you have a big brain like that? And yes, I'm only using the 2 screws. I remember back in the day with the hard drive era when we used to buy actual rubber mounts. Oh God, don't tell me I put this on backwards. What on earth? Okay. Not gonna argue with it. I'm like 99% sure I put these drives in backwards. Maybe I didn't. It was a really tight fit. Great build, lots of storage. Well, I wish it was lots of storage. It's actually only 1.5 terabytes. But yeah, back when we did a lot of hard drive builds, there was actually a ton of rubber mounts that we would use to reduce the vibration, which would reduce noise, because hard drives would make so much noise when you spin them up. They go, and then when they'd hit like a certain RPM, they go, wow, 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 wow. So we actually used rubber to mount our hard drives, and sometimes, in some cases, have them floating. So it would cut down on the vibration and the noise, which is crazy to think that we don't need to do that anymore. Like, the creativity back then was pretty cool. Pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. All right. So now that we've got our storage in, our motherboard, CPU, RAM, we can probably throw the graphics card in and then do the power supply. Oh dear. Bulging out there. So let's do the graphics card real quick. Ouch. Oh, and the Wi-Fi card. Almost forgot about that. Kind of got a little bit of a slop to it. So this card's definitely been around and used for a bit. All right. Now that that is in, starting to look like a gaming PC, yeah? Hey, Roy, welcome back to the Build Show. Bro, my PS4 used to take 10 minutes to load GTA because it was using a hard drive. Yeah, I know. That's why we try to avoid hard drives, and that's why we're ensuring that we get Windows 11 on this SATA SSD. Chris, hey man, I was at my dad's house the other day. I found my old hard drive. I think it's 04 or 05 hard drive. It had Windows 98 on it. Do you think it'll work as of today? Probably, as long as it didn't get any moisture in it, and I guess was in a temperature-controlled environment and wasn't dropped. Probably will fire up today. All right, so let's get the hard drive in here, and then we got to fire it up and then install Windows and all that fun stuff. No screws, which means we have to go get our own screws out of the hardware here. That is one of the benefits of getting a new case instead of buying a used one, is you will have all the hardware. And honestly, people ask for the price of a new case, which doesn't make any sense. You're like, yeah, this is my case from 5 years ago, and I want the same amount of money that I paid for it. Yeah, bro. I'll just go buy a new one. And then have all of the hardware. Get rid of all this crap. The only other thing I didn't see here was a power cord. I wonder if he has one. If not, I got one for him. We got power cords here. I can throw that one in. Get out of my face. This is an EVGA 500 watt, 80 plus white. This was actually the staple power supply for budget builds back in like 2020/2021. Very commonly used in budget builds, because they were solid power supplies, and they had the sleeving over the ketchup mustard, which was a lot better than the cheaper ones that were just ketchup mustard cables. So it kind of made it look more gamey, you know, like I'm gaming instead of I'm gaming. I'm gaming, bro. Just look better. And they were solid performers. Still are today. Just there are better options now for a better price. I'm not gonna fight that. Not gonna fight it. And yes, we do have enough SATA power connectors for all the hard drives, thank goodness. Hey man, I've been wanting to get into PC building. Sorry, been heads down for a minute. Let me get back to that comment. But I'm not ignoring you. Swampman TV. Tony, my case costs like $173 after tax. I do like it though. It's definitely not for everybody. Yeah, it's a unique case. It's got that retro style. I do like those, what are they? The X50s, I think they are from, X50, right? From, ooh, Height? No, I'm drawing a blank on the name, company name. Chris, or Huss says, I went into PC building in 2020, but I remember my RX 480 being $300 and something. That sounds about right, but that was like a flagship card back in 2020, so that isn't bad. But going back to Swampman's comment over on Twitch, hey man, I've been wanting to get into PC building custom PCs for a while. I got tons of experience already. I know right now it's a really bad time because of all the AI craziness, but I still want to try. Building PCs is a huge passion of mine. I got any tips on where to start? For example, what did you do to start sourcing parts and things of sorts? Where would be a good place to throw my name out there and get some clients? Any guidance would be much appreciated. Height, I was right, was Height X50. All right, so Swampman, there is a long answer to this question. So I'm not big. I'm not like a big company name. I just have a company name. I'm a small in-house shop, meaning my shop's in my house, and I do all my repairs, service, builds here at my house. I do a lot of it on YouTube, but there's a lot that I do off YouTube just because I can't handle the volume and I'm trying to just get the work done when there's a lot of volume in the shop. So I try to do everything on YouTube. That helps in a lot of ways because it helps build reputation and brand awareness. So it's like free marketing while you're doing the work. The downside is while you're doing a live stream, for example, right now I'm being asked a question, I have to stop, communicate, and then go back to building. So that kind of cuts down on your efficiency while building if you are doing it live. But I think it's better to do it this way because people can see your work done live, and then there's never a question on how well you build and how bad. So I like doing things live. And I also enjoy the part of communicating with people and talking about stuff, and you know, we get into conversations and go into some of the nostalgic stuff and talk about what's going to happen in the future, etc. There's all sorts of great conversations that come out of this. So I enjoy it personally, but there's a benefit to it because of it's just natural marketing. So marketing is number one, the biggest deal. The best place for you to post, probably to gain builds and start building reviews on your builds, is probably Facebook Marketplace. At least here in Michigan, that's been a really successful area to post, hey, I do builds, reach out to me and I'll give you a quote, etc. Or you just start flipping PCs and build a name that way. But you need reviews for reputation, because nobody's going to just walk up to you, and at least nobody smart's going to walk up to somebody and say, here's $5,000 for a 5080 build. You know, unless you have the reputation, it's just less likely that something like that's going to happen. And even so, profit margins right now on PCs are so bad, it's just dumb. It's gotten to the point where I'm losing passion in the building area because there's just no way to make money right now. It's all being tied up by RAM and storage. And the only thing you can do is increase your prices to meet the new prices of the hardware. But let me tell you, if you look at my build count from 2026 versus 2025, that's because of the shortage. I am doing a significantly less amount of builds this year than I have done in past years. This is probably my lowest build count since I started back in 2021. Officially started. So the answer is not a good time to do it. I wouldn't recommend trying to get into it. And the only way or thing I would recommend you doing if you want to get into it is flipping PCs. That's going to be the only way you're going to be profitable right now, is by buying cheap used PCs on the market, which are flooded right now, fixing them, or maybe flaring them up a little bit, put them in a different case, add a different cooler, add some more storage or something like that, you know, and then flip it for a profit. So that's going to be the easiest way to get started, and doing that on Facebook is probably the best platform until you start establishing a customer base. That's another thing. Always capture your customers' information. And the way to do that is you offer a warranty. Say, hey, I'm going to offer you a 90-day warranty on this used PC, but I do need your contact information so that I have it in my database for when you started the warranty, etc. That's an easy way to make that happen. But what that does is it gets you their email information. Their email is good because you can cycle back a year from now and say, hey, we're having such and such sale, and these are all the PCs I have listed for sale. Yes, Max just sat on a squeaky toy. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's one way you could like get marketing out of email, and it's free. But any other form of marketing is just going to cost money. So for example, website costs money. Maintenance on the website costs money. If you get big enough and people start recognizing your name, like I've started experiencing, I get a lot of spam on my website. So now I had to start using firewalls and all sorts of extra crap on my website to filter out all the spam, which is another cost. So because it was hitting my website so hard, it would make it perform basically like it wasn't performing at all. And if somebody went on my website while it was being spammed, it would appear like I wasn't even online. So it would be like 404 not found. So anyway, my point is the more free marketing you do, the better. But the free marketing is harder because it's like long form content. You have to invest in it before you get to take off. And I don't even think I'm in like a takeoff situation because I've only done 29 builds this year, which is absolutely disappointing. But there's nothing I could do about it. I mean, I could probably go out there and physically tell people I'm here, I guess, like go to local events and stuff. But I don't have the time for that. I work a full-time job. I'm a dad of 3 girls. I'm still a son to a father who just had open heart surgery, who has a farm, so I have to go help him with that every now and then, especially with the hay. And then I've got the YouTube channel, the Discord channel, the business, the Twitch channel, the business side of it, which is a job in itself. And yeah, just life catches up, man. So I would say start off flipping PCs. That's a good way to do it. OX01X4, I'm hammered right now and just got back from a wedding, but still made it for the stream. Let's go. Nice. And welcome back to the Build Show. You still made it. Yeah, we still got some time. But I hope that gives you an educated response. If you want to learn more, if you want to keep asking me more questions on this, feel free to join the Discord channel and hit me up there. I'm not going to keep yapping about it right now. I want to get this build done. On Earth. Weird. Yeah, a lot of people think I'm bigger than what I am, and I'm really not that big. It's just me, myself, and Mrs. Empower. A good day. So we do a lot. We're just really efficient about our work, getting things done. I like to think one day, you know, it'll be something bigger than what it is, but I'm comfortable where it's at right now. I enjoy hanging out with you folks, building PCs and talking about the most random stuff. Maybe we don't put that. We'll just not put the glass on for now. Yeah. All right. Let's get this thing fired up, shall we? I think it's time. Which one's which? Oh, yeah, we definitely want. Don't worry, I'll get you a side view here. Don't worry, I will fix the side view. Ben's lying, he's the CEO of a Fortune 500. No, definitely not. All right. So since our local follower is not here in the chat, if he is, maybe. Sorry, I haven't seen you in the chat. I'm going to punch this power button on behalf of their request. Man, thanks so much. This helps a lot, flipping PCs and fixing old rigs, and spicing them up a bit seems to be the way. Free marketing like Facebook and live streams is gold. Really sucks though, like you said, RAM and storage is absurd right now. Thanks a lot, man. You're awesome. Yes, exclamation point Discord in the chat if you'd want to join the Discord channel. All right, here we go. In at a 3 and in a 2 and a 1. You guys saw that, right? Well, that sucks. Back to the drawing board. What's happening? Yep, it lit up and then went off. Yes. Deep bastard, get in there. Ooh. Ooh. Oof. Can we get a fail? An F in the chat, boys. And we've got F's all around. F's all around. So this tells me the power supply is bad. So the power supply he purchased is definitely F. I don't know if he purchased it or where it came from. That leaves us with the Apivia power supply that he has, which is 450 watts. I'm kind of scared to use that. I really hope we didn't kill anything else. Jeez, I should have tested it first. Should have tested it. Should have tested it. Well, back to the drawing board, boys. I really thought we had something special here. Turns out, we just have a dead power supply. This is what I mean by never trust another man's parts. Never. Always question and test. That could nab it. Good thing I didn't really, like, zip tie the crap out of this. Ugh. Hey. 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 How you do? Hey. You gotta be shitting me. All right, so F. That means failed. The only other power supply he has in his bundle of parts here is this Apivia 450 watt. I do not want to use this power supply. I don't even think it has. It doesn't even have a PCIe power connection on it. It doesn't. So, not gonna use that. That's trash. So that means we're using this one. Brand new. And we get a power cord. This is a $40 80 plus bronze by RS Game. It's a budget power supply, 500 watt. It's their AGV series. I've used these before a lot, and I think I've only ever had like 1 or 2 dead ever since I found them. And I mean, I've used probably 400 of these at least. So that's pretty good amount ratio. Would have worked if you gave it the old sniff first. I wasn't gonna sniff another man's power supply. It's kind of gross. Here, let's cut my finger off while we're at it. All right. Thank you for subscribing, Batman. Welcome to the Build Show. Tony, thank you for using the 1,500 bits for the cheer. This should cover half of the power supply. Well, thank you. Guy over on Facebook, thank you for the like. That was 26 minutes ago. I apologize if you did mention anything in the chat. I really don't monitor the Facebook chat very well. But if you want to join us over on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, I do have those open. Now we have to zip up the stuff again. Like, for real. Can a man have a break? Oh yeah, Swamp Man. You'll run into that all the time, too. W. Tony. Yes, W. Tony. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Well, since we've already cable managed twice now, I'm just going to leave it as is. It's simple. It's managed enough. It's clean enough. I don't think it needs much more work there. So, put the panel back on. Again. That's what I get for not testing the power supply first. All right. We're right back at it. You guys want me to punch that button? Yeah. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, I know what I did. Might help to actually, 3, 2, 1. Have the power supply powered on. Oh, yeah. Kind of blurry. Hold on, let me fix that. Is it just me or is it still blurry? Right there. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, boy. And, yeah, we definitely don't want to share the screen yet. Let's go ahead and get the BIOS. Clean, I know, it looks nice. Now we gotta get it loaded up. So this is a MSI Z490A Pro. So we're gonna go ahead and do the BIOS. So let's come over to my desk. All right. No, I don't want to do an update right now. I forgot I had Windows already on this drive. I completely forgot about that. Try to hit that delete key. There we are. Let's see if the capture card captures it. It does. Oh, thank you, Swamp Man, for the follow. All right, so now we're going to do a BIOS update. I already downloaded the BIOS on that other scene on the computer that I was on just a minute ago. I just went to the MSI website for the board and then downloaded their latest BIOS, and I'm going to go to mFlash. I put the flash drive in this PC, so it's going to reboot into mFlash, and then we'll flash the BIOS to the latest, and then from there we'll make sure XMP is enabled, and secure boot should be ready to go from that point on, but we'll make sure CSM is also disabled. So we want USB disk, and this is probably the right one. Go for it. Now we wait for the BIOS to finish updating. We were making a pretty good leap. I think that was from 2021, so... Yeah, but so far so good. Yeah. It's working. 2021 was 2 years ago. Yeah, totally. You know, a couple years. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Just remember, the more you buy, the more you save. You can quote me on that. I know what I'm talking about. Man, look at that BIOS update speed. Woo! It's fast. Go on, get him. Well, 99%, 100. Now we're gonna go to the black. We're gonna reboot again. We're gonna go back into the BIOS, make sure XMP is set and CSM is disabled. Or it's gonna power on and power off again for no reason. Hey, it's the boxed cooler. I mean, can't fool it. So to enable XMP on an MSI board, you just click the XMP profile 1 right here. It'll stay highlighted, and it is now going to run XMP profile 1. That's really all we should have to do with that. But we do have to go into advanced mode, and I believe it's under boot, or where is this? Security? Secure boot. Trusted computing is enabled. Secure boot is enabled. So it's already disabled CSM, I think. Where do I find that? Where do I find that? Here it is. So we're already on UEFI. So CSM is disabled, which is what we want. And that's probably because it's a newer version of the BIOS. So once we go here and hit the X, all we did was enable the XP. Oh, one more thing that we want to do. Specifically, it's a MSI thing. Hardware monitor. MSI likes to read fans incorrectly. So for example, these are PWM fans, and they're not set to smart fan mode, so they will actually run the fans a lot harder than they should be if you don't go in here and change that if you have PWM fans on an MSI motherboard. So I do recommend taking the time to check those if you have an MSI motherboard, because it won't run your fans right. Nope. Quickly. Forgot one more thing I gotta do. We gotta tell it to boot to the USB. Yeah, there. And then changing your boot priority under easy mode is just as easy as selecting your thingamabopper that you want to boot to and sliding it all the way to the left, and that will tell it to boot to that device, which we want it to boot to the USB, which is our Windows 11 setup drive. Pro Series. I do miss, remember when you'd launch like an old EA games, it would be EA Games. Challenge everything. That is nostalgia for me. I miss that. Now it's all these like weird things that just don't hit right. Doesn't hit the same. We're gonna go ahead and go with the 11 Pro. And I will get a key later. Oh, I didn't think of this. Which of the 250 is the 250? Will it be one with partitions? Crap, they all have partitions, don't they? Well, that is our terabyte. Yeah. I think... Oh dear. OneDrive is not... We have disk 0, disk 2, then disk 3. Okay. We just don't have a disk 1. We just went 0, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. I'm going to delete these. I think this is our hard drive. We're going to have to unplug it, I think, to verify. I didn't pay attention. I miss the old PS2 sounds. Yeah, those were pretty cool. When you'd boot up the game and the screen would flash play. Yeah. I miss it too. I think disk 0 is our hard drive. Because disk 2 has system reserved. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. Got it. So I'm pretty sure disk 2 is the SATA SSD. But we're gonna unplug it just to make sure. And refresh. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, disk 0 is the SSD. Interesting. So that's another way you can quickly verify you're installing on the right drive if you have that situation. Just unplug them and refresh. And SATA is hot swappable, so you can do it while the machine's on. And now we install Windows. You can, of course, go into the BIOS and verify which drive is which. But I didn't feel like doing that. I should have paid attention when I was in there. I should have looked. Yep. Yep, I would do that to make sure. Yep. We did. We done did. We done did it. Oh, get late. 11 o'clock. Whoa. Do you guys like me sharing this type of stuff too? Or is this stuff boring? Me installing Windows and then the BIOS update and then the drivers and talking about this, that, and the other thing. And then asking you if you like it or not. I'm getting slap happy, guys. That's how late it is for me. You dig it, all right? Hopefully somebody stumbles across one of these videos and was like, oh, cool. And then gains value out of it. %. I don't typically stand around watching Windows installs. Usually I hit go, and then I'm on to the next thing, and then I come back when it's yelling at me. Oh, by the way, I do have a 5070 here, if anybody's interested or looking for one for a decent price. It is used. It came out of a customer's build. They upgraded to a 5080 because they wanted to run more VR, and they were running into performance issues with the 12 gigs of VRAM. So the 16 really helped them from the 5080, but he asked me to resell it for him. So I do have a RTX 5070 for sale here. If anybody's interested, please reach out to me on Discord. I will, it is a Asus, whatchamacallit? Tough Gaming. It is an Asus Tough Gaming OC RTX 5070. And it is in basically brand new condition. He takes very good care of his computer. I built it for him, so I was the original person that handled the card from the entire time. He never touched it, so. Still under manufacturer warranty as well. But let me know if anybody's looking for a 5070. The only shows I don't like are the 5090 builds. It makes me jealous. Yeah, those are far and few in between. I actually had somebody quote out a Titan build the other day, so they were looking at it, but it came out to about $10,000. And he was like, no. I'm like, yeah, well, half of that is an RTX 5090, almost. And then he had 8 terabytes of SSD in there, so that was another grand, you know. Those are like $500 a piece for a Gen 4 drive. And then 64 gigs of DDR5, that was another grand. So right there alone, you're looking at $6 grand in hardware, at least 6,500. And then he wanted a Ryzen 9 9950X 3D. That's like a $650 processor. And then the motherboard was another $500. And then cooler was another $300 because he wanted one of those cool looking coolers with the LCD on it. The 5090 will make you feel elite, yes. Only for those who dare. Right? Did you guys take a look at that Titan video on my website or my YouTube channel? It's a good one. You're looking for a 5070? Well, let me know. Hit me up on the Discord. I've got one here. I think we were looking for like 500, 550 for the 5070 is kind of what he was giving me the feel for. But I can always, if there's an offer, I can go back to him and say, hey, this is an offer I have for the card. Do you want to accept it? Especially if it's like a similar to cash sale, like a Zelle transfer. That would eliminate any fees. And then shipping, if you needed me to ship it, it's like $12, but I ship it for free with full insurance on it. And it would be packaged very well. But he's trying to recoup some of the cost of the 5080. And it's been sitting here a minute because I haven't. I've briefly mentioned it's available, but haven't really posted it yet. And I feel shitty for not getting that out quick enough. But if anybody's looking for a good deal on a 5070, because I know they're like $600 now, we could probably do $500 for it, and he'd be happy. Yeah, trying to do a second build. Nice, nice. Well, we got one here. I mean, it's a beast of a card, too. It's actually, here, I'll show you it real quick. Go to the top down. Actually have it sitting right here. It's supposed to be a reminder. but it is a super clean RTX 5070 Tough Gaming Behemoth. I mean, it is a fat card. And he took really good care of it, so there's not really a speck of dust on this thing. Super nice. So that is the card that we have here. I was thinking about buying it from him for my build, but I'm never going to get 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM anytime soon. So it would just sit if somebody else could use it. Yeah, yeah. All right. We are making progress with this thing. Let's switch it back to the screen capture card. I just rebooted it because I was telling it to force the Microsoft login, because I'm just going to do a local admin account on this. I would have, but I mean, I'm not going to use it anytime soon. I'm still using my old rig. I have to buy a CPU, 64 gigs of RAM, and more SSDs, and those are all very expensive components, and I really don't want to spend the money right now because everything's so slow here. So it's like, it's an investment, and I don't really want to spend the money on the investment. Right now, I'd rather hold on to the money cash. Yeah, 64 gigs of RAM DDR5 is going to be really hard to find right now. I should have bought it last year when I was thinking about it. That's the only reason why I haven't done the upgrade, is because 64 gigs of RAM DDR5 is like $1,000, and I don't want to buy like garbage RAM. I want to buy nice stuff with good timings so I can play with it. I want to play with it. So I'm on the same boat as everybody else. I'm waiting. I don't want to spend the money. It's just too much money for RAM. Yeah, and then the storage too. I want at least 4 terabytes on my C drive and a 4 terabyte D drive. And I've actually found a couple of good deals that I almost pulled the trigger on for those, but then again, it's money tied up that's just gonna sit. Not gonna be using it right away. So, like, whatever. Not a big deal. I'm happy with my 5700X 3070 Ti, 32 gigs, DDR4. I am very displeased with my ASRock motherboard that's in there that does some wonky stuff, but can't complain. All right, so we've got this Windows installed. So next, we can go get the MSI Center and get that going. All right, yeah, just hit me up on Discord. Yeah, no pressure. I am not pressuring anybody into this. If you're looking for a card, 5070, I've got one. Just be cool if I got it to somebody that's looking for a card here and got a good deal for it. Community helping the community. Come on. I know you can do it. Oh yeah, we can put those drives back in. Hey, what's up, God's End? Welcome back to the Build Show. Yeah, tonight we're assembling a PC from a local follower that brought me a bunch of parts and asked me just to build the best possible out of all of them. We ended up using some components from my stash because he wants to be able to play Call of Duty as well, and what he had there was too old to even have secure boot, so didn't have the TPM support for Windows 11. So we definitely helped him out quite a bit here. And we also got him a new case and a new SSD. This is the results here if you want to check it out. Side view. What we ended up with. Looks like we need to get a support bracket for this graphics card too. But that's what we got. It's a 1060, 16 gigs DDR4, i5 10th generation, 10400 on a Z490, 500 watt power supply, and this is a Montech XR, and that is a stock cooler. All right, so let's get to these discs. Oh, and then the storage is a 250 gigabyte SATA SSD, and then we also have a 250 gigabyte SATA hard drive and a 1 terabyte SATA hard drive, which apparently the disk manager does not want to report the disks. We might have to wait. A lot of waiting going on here. But we already did the BIOS updates, we already enabled XMP, and we also, yeah, it's not seeing any of the other disks, so we'll have to reboot and hopefully they show up. And then we made sure secure boot was good to go, CSM was disabled, so we checked this, it actually should show secure boot is enabled. Under system information, secure boot on, good to go. So then Call of Duty will be able to run. Seems pretty chill today. Yeah, it's pretty chill. You know, it's a chill stream. Sorry, Windows has decided to install the NVIDIA driver while we're installing other stuff. Yeah. When, you know, Windows just trying to help out in the background there. We'll download the right drivers. Jeffy Tech, hey, just posted a crazy deal on Corsair 4000D with the Xeon Edge touchscreen on Amazon for less than the cost of the monitor. Nice. I'll go check that out. My phone. Test. Oh, here I am. All right. So, this is what he was talking about. Oh. That's not a bad price. That is actually really cool to move that, to move those. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty good price for the size of screen that you get there. The premium case. And your graphics card is pretty much the only thing that's going to be showing there, and then everything else gets cut off. Pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Chefy Tech over on the Twitch channel said that he posted a really cool deal that he found for that Corsair 4000D with the touchscreen. It's actually a really good deal because if you look at Height's Y70 touchscreen, that's like a what, $400 case with the screen, sometimes higher. I think you could make a good New York style PC with that case, yeah. Yeah, it's a good price. Good deal. Alright, so while that is doing that, let's go get the rest of our drivers. Did they stop supporting the 10 series? Now they're just doing the security updates? I think that's all that we would need, besides these. If I leave that here, nope. Ah! No! No! I didn't catch that. No! We have to format the computer again. I actually just noticed that was installed. Ugh. Disgusting. That's why it took so long. Why did you decide to? Because you're crap. Oh my gosh, let me uninstall. Nice, thanks, Tony. I did not catch that was selected. It's running really good, though. Probably not going to run any good now after we installed Norton. I was talking about suck that you rode. It is nice, yeah. You like that? You suck. Yeah, I'm not basically. I can't believe I installed that. That's one to clip. Come on. They always try to sneak it in there. They're like, do you want to install Norton? Nah. Nobody wants you, Norton. Go away. Yeah, most of Windows is bloatware. That's a good point. All we need is the OS, maybe a web browser, unless it comes with Chrome or some other browser that's better. That's it. We don't need all this extra crap. Yeah, people ask me to. I'll go through and truly give you a light version of Windows. Oh yeah, with their AI. Their AI that's writing the new Windows updates, they're cleaning it all out. What? I can't believe they're even still around. Yeah, I know. It's kind of surprising. There's still enough, I'll say, elderly people that still own them. They have them on their computer from that's still Windows XP. Firefox Brave is the way to go. I'm still a big Chrome user, but that's because I have a Google Pixel and it's very convenient. Do something on my computer and have it on my phone. It transfers over to Chrome pretty easily. On the phone, it syncs. Really convenient. And I know I could put a different browser on my Android Google Pixel, and I know pretty much all the browsers do that. I'm just so embedded into Chrome now. I just don't want to even think about moving to a different browser. Because I don't make passwords anymore. I just tell my password tools to make a password and remember it for me. And then I use my phone to access it. Oh, I know. Chrome sucks. Especially with me, when I have like 65 tabs open. You open up your task manager and you're like, where did all my memory? Oh, Chrome. Look at that. Chrome. I'm not even using any of them, but it's using literally all of my memory. Yes, it's because I have 64 tabs open. That's an average. There's days where I'll have hundreds of tabs open. And then I kind of like look up and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I this way? All right, so after this, we'll reboot, verify that we have the drives, and make sure that they're formatted and good to go. Oh yeah, Chrome eats up RAM like there's no tomorrow. You have like 4 tabs open and half your RAM's gone. If I'm streaming, I actually, for the most part, close everything Chrome down because it eats up all my RAM. Oh, the driver. Finally. I got around to installing the driver finally. Oh, yeah, this will be a nice little rig for him. Actually, one other thing I forgot to go get was HW monitor to check the temps of that GPU. Because I know that GPU's been around for a while. That could use a repaste. Most likely it needs it. GPU is running a little warm for a 10400, but I'm going to chop that up to the ultra small cooler we have on there. Graphics card at idle is doing pretty good. So let's reboot. And, oh yeah, one thing I also wanted to look is 32. Alright, now let's reboot. We got secure boot, CSM disabled, XMP enabled. The only thing we're missing are those drives. Oh, I should have gone to device manager and refreshed under drives, and that probably would have picked up the new drives. Because I plugged them back in after Windows was booted up. But rebooting will do the same thing. And it's on a snappy SSD, so it'll be quick. There they are. Wonder what's in here. No idea what's in here. The Steam library. No idea. There they are. Now we have storage. Is there anything else that I was supposed to do? Other than Windows updates. Oh yeah. No! Let me click! I think I pissed it off. That's what we want to see. All right. Right. What screen resolution is this? That 80. Ooh, we can bump it up. Oh gosh, no. Revert. I don't think my capture card likes that. Yeah, run it. See what it does. Not too shabby for a 1060. I didn't push any of the settings up high. It's just on default settings. I feel like we've I think we have gone through our music. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Not too shabby. I don't know in total what he has into the system, but card's actually running pretty good. So I would assume this card was actually not used a whole lot. But I think we do need to get a support bracket in here, so I'll have to dig up a stand for it or something. I feel like I have a stand sitting around here somewhere. Yeah, I'll locate one. Anyway, looks good, guys. And with that, what do you guys think? We call it a night now? I think it's good enough. There you have it. The build, minus the GPU support that this poor 1060 needs. All right, so that's it for me tonight, guys. I am cooked. We did it! We built it somehow. Bad power supply. Two old platforms that weren't going to work for Call of Duty anyway. A case that just didn't seem right to build in. And a dead power supply was our adventure tonight. Came out pretty good. Yeah, it looks like a respectable build. Turned out nice. That's what I've got for tonight, guys. So we'll probably come back in live in the middle of the week, probably Wednesday evening, a build stream or some sort of stream, and then that'll be it for, unless I squeeze another one in somewhere between the times or the days. But Wednesday is probably going to be the next stream, and that'll be it for sure over the weekend, because I'm going to be out of town for the weekend. So we'll at least have one more stream before I take off. Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed it. And please, if you haven't already, join the Discord channel, where a lot of people like to ask questions, hang out, and we joke about prices of parts and stuff. Yeah, feel free to DM me on Discord. I appreciate that. For the 5070. Yep. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, guys. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Thanks for hanging out with us and seeing the end results. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Happy Sunday night, almost Monday. Sorry to be that guy, but it's gonna be Monday. Have a good night, guys.